Hello, it is October 7th and I'm at work and I am feeling like the weather. Not gonna lie. I don't even know if staying in bed would have helped anything. I just felt down. So, just gonna try to get through what I planned on doing. I'm just gonna try to get through what I planned on doing while I feel like this. Maybe it was the sad post that I just saw. Maybe it was what I went through yesterday. I don't know. But I'm not feeling my best. And that's okay. Sometimes we just don't feel all that great. And I'm no stranger to this feeling. So, yeah. But I'll get through it. I am recording today. I have a dentist appointment and I'm recording today, so we shall be getting through this task list. And yeah, hope that you all have a great day and that something makes you smile. So yesterday I said it was October 7th. It was April 7th. That's how out of it I was. It is April 8th. I went to the dentist, got some cavities filled. They fixed my front tooth, but I feel like it looks weird now. Recorded. The episode was good. Talking to my best friend was good. Got a good chunk of things done off of my task list. I feel a little bit better now, but I have therapy today, so I get to tell on everybody to my therapist, and she's gonna talk about how she wish she could beat them up, and I love that about my therapist. But really, I was not having a good day yesterday, and I stood my ground on some things. And yeah, I'm realizing that again, people are not used to me not backing down or not keeping my word when I say that I'm done. And that's partially my bad. That's partially my fault. But I'm learning that I can't keep going back and forth with people about things when I've already told you my standpoint and everything. If you choose not to understand on your side, then that means that you don't want to. I try to simplify it in every way that I can, and it's still not good enough, and that's okay. On this journey, you will see that I guess 6 months is still I'm newly single, and I live with my ex, and it has not been the easiest time. It just hasn't been the easiest time, and you know, it is what it is. Some people can't deal with losing someone that they love dearly, but don't care to understand that they truly did not do what they could have done to make sure that the relationship worked. So that's what I'm dealing with, and that's okay. That's okay, because I'm not going to keep dealing with it much longer. I'm making my way to doing what I need to do so that I can be in my own space and be at peace. That's all I ever ask for is peace. That's all I've ever prayed for is peace. And I realized that I have to get through the chaos to get to that side. I've probably been peaceful for too long. And now everything is just like, no, but turn up a little bit, because you're not gonna truly appreciate where you're getting to without the chaos. So it is what it is. Hello and welcome back. I'm gonna stop giving time dates. You would think that that will hold me accountable to actually put this together and everything, but probably not. But this is gonna come out. Like, I'm not playing these games. I've come to the realization, after, of course, being on social media, that I have taken on some of my mom's traits that I try to fight so hard against. And one of them is having to see it to believe it. When I was going to community college and I wasn't working, because there was a time when I was working overnight and going straight to college, like straight to my classes right after work. There was a time period when I was up for a whole 48 hours, no sleep. But probably 72 for real. But in those times, there were no comments or anything. More so you don't have to work, just focus on school. I quit the job, I'm still in school, and all of a sudden it's you're so lazy, you're not doing anything, all you do is stay in this room all day. And I can literally have my laptop open trying to work on assignments. That might be the reason why I feel like no matter what I do in certain cases is not going to be good enough, because I have literally been in the middle of doing something to push me to go further, and somebody will be like, well, you're not doing anything, and having to explain like, yes I am, or not even caring to explain, because I'm just like, you believe what you want. I have adopted that trait, unbeknownst to me at first, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like feeling like just because I can't see you doing something that you're not doing it. I don't like making people feel bad for me not seeing them trying. But I've also come to the conclusion that sometimes people be wanting you to see stuff and it's too late. So maybe that's what it is. It's just too late for me to really truly see the shit. Sometimes it's just not the time for me to see all the work that you're putting in, because it's too late. It's too late for all that. Why you want me to see it now? After it feels like I begged and pleaded you to get this shit together, and now it's like, but I'm trying now. Or like, I was trying and you, and it's like, so anyway, I've discovered that about myself, and I don't like it. I don't like when people do that shit to me, and make a plan right now. Like, that's the type of pusher I am. Because I'm just like, I am the type of person, you can't tell me about your dream and we not working on it. Or you not working on it. Like, why you don't got a plan behind what you trying to do? You can't sit up here and tell me about these big ass goals and you not making a way to get there. And my community and my friends are the same exact way. Like, they don't let me. People just be in the way. People love being in the way. And I hate that for them. Cause why? Y'all in this lane and you supposed to turn. I got a little road rage. Not a little, a lot. But anyway, what type of person would I be if you came to me with your goal? Like, you felt comfortable enough to come to me with your dreams, goals, aspirations, and I'm just supposed to sit here and be like, oh, that's nice. Hell no. You better get that shit off. You better do that shit, especially when it's a good idea. It's a great idea. It's an amazing idea. It's something that's like realistic. Like, if somebody was just like, yeah, I want to build my own spaceship and go to the moon, I'd be like, so you're Elon? I'm like, oh, okay. Have you ever built anything? And you're like, maybe you should work on that. I don't know. I am like a, let's be realistic about this here type of person, but when somebody has a goal or a dream, I just be like, why would you sit on a great idea like that? Make it happen, Kevin. And I need to start doing that for myself more often. So that's why I'm doing this. Because there are so many things that I've been wanting to do and haven't followed through with it. And having my YouTube up is one of them. Recording in general is just weird. And I really hate recording in my car. I feel like I barely like dancing in my car. To think that I would like recording in my shit, feeling like people are watching me, when I shouldn't even be worried about that. Because why are you in my vehicle? Why is you over here? This car ain't got nothing to do with you, and you in my shit. Insane. But no, I don't know what I did to my arm. Also, the thing about your body like breaking down right when you turn 30 is not true. The years of you literally not moving your body just builds up. Of course, it feels like your body is deteriorating. What you expected to do? You wasn't moving. You wasn't grooving. You wasn't getting your shit together. Also, dislike when people drive right next to me. Like, are you okay? Are you? I be wanting people to like speed up a little bit, just a tad. Like, you know what? It's okay. I'm gonna pull up right next to you. Make it awkward. This time before becoming 30 is just like, I feel like being in my 20s since 25 has been really eye-opening in general, but like the things that I'm having to deal with while in these last 5 months, like 6 months, really over 6 months, like 8 months, has really just been like a, why do I have to go through this shit? Like, it's like I'm breaking cycles, but there's still some like trigger points coming up, like, so how you gonna react to this now? I'm just trying to make sure that you're not gonna slip back into that people pleasing or all that other stuff that you was dealing with before. Like, know your worth. Know that that's not how your life has to go. Know that you don't have to sit up here and deal with things that you don't want to anymore. Understand that you have a choice. Understand that you don't have to have everything figured out. And if you are still triggered by certain things, then we just gotta go back to the shadow work or to the drawing board and figure out, like, okay, maybe we just hit that surface level. Let's go a little deeper. I'm not always going to remember the first time that I experienced dealing with something because, I don't know, I forgot a lot. I've forgotten a lot from childhood, and there are things from my teenage years that I've even forgotten, like, what is going on up here? I don't remember a lot from my childhood or like a good chunk of my teenage years, and stuff from my younger adulthood either. Like, I feel like that might be a trauma response. I don't want to call everything trauma responses because that's not always the case. Sometimes you just forget things. I feel like a better words. But sometimes I have to just go back into my Rolodex and be like, why do I react like that? Why do I feel so triggered by this? Or why is there so much emotions behind when this happens or that happens? And so I feel like these next 5 months are gonna be like me doing like a video diary. Of course this is a vlog, but this is really like a video diary of me just showing like continuous healing process, continuously trying to understand myself. Sometimes you don't have to go all the way back and look at how you reacted to things in the past or what triggered things, but I feel like if I can like forgive myself for specific things, it might turn out better. It probably doesn't. I do forgive myself overall for all the times that I didn't speak up when I should have, or all the times when I let somebody just treat me any type of way. I forgive myself for not reacting the best, even when I did respond, or things like that, because I'm only human. And if anybody is going to forgive me, I'm going to forgive myself. So, yeah. And I don't want to label the way that I feel as like me being depressed, but like that's the only thing I can really relate it to. I've been dealing with depression since before I even started elementary school, I feel like. And I feel like it went away for a little bit. Not even gonna lie, like it went away for maybe a good 2 years where I wasn't like really dealing with it as heavy. It was only like the seasonal depression. Not like it can literally be so beautiful outside and I'm still like, I'm just gonna stay in my room forever. Like, yeah. I haven't dealt with that in a while. And I think I'm dealing with this. It's like a butterfly in a cocoon type situation where I see the busted turn signal, but I really don't want to let it in front of me because y'all gotta abide by like speed rules, traffic speeding limits and shit, and I don't want to abide by them behind you. So I'm gonna let you figure that out. And the car behind me also isn't trying to let you over either. That's pretty sad. I'm gonna let this car in front of me. I do one good. Come on. You driving slow. You causing traffic just as much as everybody else. Just as much as the accident that happened right here. About to cause another one. Okay. Home stretch. What was I saying? Fuck. I just be distracted, bro. I get distracted so fucking easily. This is... Okay, I was talking about being depressed. I feel like I'm dealing with this right now because I'm shedding who I once was, and it's making me like really like, I am pretty self-aware, but this is bringing a lot of things up to the forefront. I used to be like, I don't regret decisions that I made. They were all, necessary. No, I regret stuff. I regret things. Like, I don't regret the relationship that I was previously in. I just regret staying as long as I did. I regret not speaking up for myself in certain situations sooner. But like I said, I've forgiven myself for them, and I'm trying to move past it. But things take time. Things take time, and that's okay. And that's okay. We're not always gonna just get through everything in like 5 days. Just like losing weight. You think you ain't gained that weight. You didn't gain all that unwanted weight in 5 days. You think you about to get over this shit in 5 days? Absolutely not. Healing is a continuous process, and that's why I really don't like when people are like, I'm healed. No, people can still trigger you. Because once somebody says that you're not healed, you be so upset. Like, I did all this work. Bro, calm down. Never said you weren't healing, or certain parts of you are, better than they used to be. But you're never completely healed. Like, there's always shit that you gotta heal from. There's always new shit that you gotta heal from. Nobody is healed. Like when you get a scar after cutting yourself or something, and the scar, like scars from childhood, are still on your body. Yeah, shit not bleeding or bruised up, but you still have memory and a battle wound or battle scar from what you went through. That's what I'm going to relate it to. It's still there. It can still be brought up. It can still bring feelings that you thought you were past. So, healing, not healed. I don't think I'll ever really be healed. And that's why I'm not big on having children anymore. Before, it was just like, yeah, I want a little mini me running around. That's not a good reason to have kids. My child is going to be so adorable because it's going to look just like me. Be pissed the fuck off if my child ain't come out looking like me. What you mean? That's not a good reason to have a child. Oh, my baby is going to have such good physical traits. You was pimping out your baby because you worried about his physical traits and not like making sure that they're raised up to be a decent human being. Like, yeah. Anyway, so I'm not really big on having kids anymore because I'm just like, I have so much to still unpack, and I'll have things to unpack for the rest of my fucking life. Not saying that I'm gonna let these things hold me and stop me from doing other things, but I just feel like trying to bring a kid into this world right now is so selfish, so unnecessary. Because are you doing the work? Like, now if you doing the work and you like, I can really take care of this child, like financially and emotionally, I can be there for my child. When my child wants to do activities, I'll have time. Like, children take a lot. I have 5 nieces and nephews and was taking care of them over summers for probably every summer that I was in high school. That shit took a lot. I had to wake up early. I had to make sure that they were fed. Had to make sure that I woke up when, like, the youngest ones, whenever there was a baby, whenever the youngest one was crying, and there were times where I would sleep through that shit, and they would just be, babies can't take care of them fucking selves. You got to make sure they change. You got to make sure you checking their diaper, because some babies don't cry when their pampers are full. You got to make sure that you checking them. You got to make sure you on high alert when they can walk. You got to make sure that they getting their nutrients, and fuck you eating, because I really don't. I'm working on making sure that I'm fed on a regular, which is not really working with the whole feeling like the way I feel. I really don't be eating when I'm depressed. But you got to make sure that you feed that baby, and you got to make sure that they getting the right nutrients and everything when they are at such a young age, and even when they aren't young anymore. Like, I get why so many people are just like, excuse me. I get why people are just like, when you become a mother, like, that's who you are, because that's how I see it. Like, you can't be out here doing the shit that you was doing when you was like not a mom anymore. Like, like, you really gotta account for taking your baby to the doctor, and like, it's not just you going to the doctor anymore. You can't just focus on yourself. You got like little human beings running around that can't think for themselves and that are like dumb as fuck. And you also got to let them learn on their own about certain things at certain ages too. Like, once they start school, they have to learn how to be a friend. They have to learn that everybody is not your friend. They have to learn that to respect other adults other than the two that live with you, but also that you can't trust all adults. Like, it's so fucking much. Why would I put myself through that when I'm still trying to figure out who I can and cannot trust? How to not put myself out there so much for people that I barely know, or how to know when somebody is just using me for what I can do for them. One shit is not reciprocal or reciprocated. Like, why would I do that? Why would I do that? You truly become an adult at 21. I will be a 9-year-old adult. You know how much you knew at 9? Not enough. Imagine a 9-year-old trying to take care of a baby. Now, yes, do I have more common sense and everything? But common sense ain't common for everybody. Like, sometimes I be lacking it. Sometimes I do lack common sense. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not always the most mature person. I'm not always the most emotionally stable person in the room. As you can see, I'm talking about dealing with depression and shit, and I got ADHD. Nigga, I'll be in the middle of something and be like, oh shit, I gotta pick my child up from school. School let out at 2:15. I'm sitting in this parking lot at 1:15, sitting here for a fucking hour just to make sure that like, when I got other shit to do, but I don't want my child to feel abandoned by its own mother. Like, there's just so many things to having a child. And I'm not financially stable enough to take care of a kid, because in a sense, I was called spoiled when I was being brought up. My child will also be spoiled. The way that my mom spoils, and I'm doing spoils, my nephew and sends him money and stuff, my youngest one, but don't really be doing that for the other ones. I don't like that. If I were to have a child, she would stop doing that for my youngest nephew. I know for a fact. My mom wants me to have a kid so bad, or wanted me to. And I would tell her, like, yo, I'm not taking care of this baby. You finna be taking care of the baby. The baby gonna come with me on the weekends. My mom does not live in Maryland anymore. It's gonna be a hard our situation, my child gonna come with me for the summers and breaks and stuff, like, and that sounds crazy, but like, I would not be able to do it. I feel like it's better to be realistic about my situations instead of trying to sit up here and be like, yeah, I can take care of a child. No, I can't. I can if I had to, but I don't. I was raised to not believe in abortions. I was more so pro-life. I'm very much so pro-choice. Do what you gotta do for you, because a child will change everything. Child changes everything. No matter how much you try to be your own person, you are a mother until the day you die. Once you have a baby, once you have that child, it's click. It's no more just thinking for you. Even if you get married, like, you can get divorced. That person don't have to depend on you for the rest of their fucking life. But that baby, that child, and then it's like you try to be the best parent you can be, but your child is always going to have to go to therapy for something that they dealt with growing up. Yeah, my mom, sometimes she left me in the room just to read books. Why didn't she want to spend time with me? Like, it's like how you felt growing up. Your parent could, that was an example. Actually, no, that's how it was. And I don't mind that. For real, that's not even a complaint that I have. Yes, leave me in solitude. But that was for solitude. And I think that strikes a lot of people now, because I would want to be in I would want to be in the vicinity of people, and sometimes it would be like, oh, stay in a child's place, or go in there real quick so we can talk blah 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 blah. But I would want to be around people. I would want to be around the people that I love. And there was times where I was like forced to not be able to be around these people, not because adult shit was going on, but because I was truly being isolated. I was being isolated at certain times in my adult life, in my teenage life, because people didn't understand what being a parent was. Your child is going to need you. Stop telling certain kids, I ain't never had to worry about you. That's the problem. You should have. Look at me. I'm not a fuck up by any means. I'm not a fuck up. Some people will say that I'm a fuck up because I only have an associate's degree, or, I have a decent job, but it doesn't pay me as much as I could make at somewhere else, or this, that, and the third. Or because I'm not married, I don't have any kids, I don't own my own whatever. That's a fuck up to some people, but I'm not. I'm not addicted to anything. I'm trying to do better with my life. I am doing better. I'm actively doing better with my life. I'm being more open. I am being more outspoken. I am loving myself more, trusting myself more.